Good morning. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and I want to talk to you this morning about childhood emotional neglect. It's something that I'm just learning about, and truthfully, I had no idea it even existed. I mean, to me, it was when you were growing up, children are to be seen and not heard, and children don't have emotions. You tell them what they're supposed to feel. Like, don't feel bad about that. Don't cry. Um, if you don't quit crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. And, just lots of things like that. And so I realize when, as a child, you're not allowed to have emotions and you're just always taught to tough it out, that you expect others to just tough it out. Like, I had a lot of empathy, I thought, and mercy and compassion, but at the same time, I was like, "Get over it. Everybody goes through stuff. Like, go through your stuff." Like they say, if you're going through hell, just keep going. Don't stay there. And so I just kind of always thought that, I don't know, maybe, some people were just weaker than others. And so I never really gave my own self permission to even think about how do you feel about that. Like, I never asked myself, how did I feel about my mother leaving? I never asked myself, how did I feel about raising my brothers? I never asked myself, how did I feel about my father's marriages and annulments and remarriages? I never took the time to think about it. You know what I did? I stayed busy. I just kept working harder. I just kept doing more because I thought if I just keep working more and if I just keep working harder, everything's going to be all right and things will just get better. Can I tell you, things don't just get better. If you just keep doing the same thing, things just keep staying the same. And so recently in my journey, and many of you have been along with me, and I'm so grateful for that, I've noticed that I'm more present. Like, I don't feel like I have to get up and run around and do a bunch of things. I can just sit and be present. I can just sit and have a conversation. For those of you that know me know that I'm not a sitter. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons I always ran is because it allowed me to get rid of all of that energy. And when a child has emotional neglect, oftentimes what's going on inside of them, especially if they're under stress or they're experiencing trauma, their blood pressure will go up and their body will change. And those of you that know me for a really long time, I've always told you that, before I preach or when I'm going to do something, my hands get soaking wet. I mean, soaking wet. Like, literally, I could just drip. And my heart races really, really fast. And I get really, really hot. And I don't really feel very well. And so, because I've not learned throughout my life, even from a child, to process my emotions, I just bury them. They come out in ways that you would rather them not come out. Um, I always had a lot of air on my stomach, just different things that were physical attributes of stress and trauma. One of the funniest things that I just realized, and maybe you do this and it drives people crazy, but if you startled me or like you were driving and almost hit something, I would scream really loud, like, ah, like, and then it would scare the person driving, or it would scare the person that was trying to scare me even more than they scared me. And I realized that children that grow up with trauma and abandonment and childhood neglect, they overreact to fear or trauma or uncertainties in life. And so, if I've ever done that to you, I'm really sorry. I'm really trying to get over it. But it's a journey, and just embrace your journey. And I'm at the point right now where I'm calling people and asking them, have I ever done this to you? Have I, in any way, when you've pressed in to have a relationship with me, I've drawn back. I'm really sorry. It wasn't personal. It was just trauma. And so I'm looking forward to just keep learning. My personal coach has told me to read a book a week for 10 weeks. And oh my gosh, that is really hard to do. I thought I was like a really avid reader, but a book a week is intense, especially when some of the books are really thick. So right now I'm reading the book, The Boy Who Was Raised by a Dog, or The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog, by Dr. Perry, I think his name is. But I could actually look it up for you this morning. I know you're probably in as big of a rush as I am to get moving and get things done. But yeah, it's a really good book. The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog by Bruce D. Perry, MD, PhD. And it is a series of stories from a child psychiatrist notebook when traumatized children, what traumatized children can teach us about loss, love, and healing. And so I'm learning how to teach others what I'm learning. And in the process, I'm believing God that I can write a book that lay people can understand and people can be helped. So enjoy today's blog. God bless.